Welcome back to the channel. James Sharmack here again with another brand new Marvel Legends figure. So today we are looking at a Marvel Legends, revisitation from a figure line from when I was a child. They put out some Secret Wars figures. So today we are looking at the Spider-Man alien costume one. That's right. So this design struck me peculiar because I don't have. Obviously, I don't think they put out a figure where he's mid transformation, because the whole point of Secret Wars is that's where he gets a symbiote. So you want to take a look at the figure, take a look at the box, maybe go down memory lane. I don't know. Okay, so Secret Wars was a big storyline in the mid '80s. Mattel at the time made these figures. Obviously, it's not Mattel, but they do have a pretty nice representation of what the old packaging looked like. Nice representation of animation and whatnot. That's pretty cool. I'd like to get at least the Daredevil figure. Maybe we'll get the Absorbing Man. That'd be pretty cool. Got some text right there. Take a look at that. Nice picture there. So as much as I'm nostalgic for the packaging, we are taking the figure out of the package and taking a look at him. Okay, we have Spider-Man out of the package, looking pretty cool. Yeah, I said package, pretty funny. Anyways, let's take a look at the figure. So, like I said, basically it's mid-transformation. In the comic book, basically, the heroes get their butt swapped, and there's a machine that, can replace their uniforms, make them good as new. Somehow Peter gets this black costume in it from it. Anyways, I like how the one arm has some battle damage on it. Don't really see any battle damage on the rest of the figure so much, but that's pretty cool. I like the mid transformations. A bit of inspiration. That's pretty cool. I like the head sculpt. Actually shows something different. I know. Actually, no. It looks like it's just added on to it. So that's pretty. Glued on. That arm looks pretty nice. Nice, paintwork on it. Probably could have, gone down, made it halfway, make it almost like a Two-Face type of thing. That would have been cool. I'm not saying the figure's not cool, because it is. I like the Spider-Man. I don't really say no to Spider-Man figures, but oops, it's falling down. Let's try to stand him up. There you go. If this figure can stand in a lot of poses, I'll be very happy. I do like the design. I think it's pretty cool that they're, thinking outside the box and, saying let's make the mid transformation one. So, that alone, draws me in. So yeah, pretty solid. Okay, so it comes with a couple of accessories, not too many. It comes with a pair of fists, one for each hand, obviously. So just has the flip and the clawing or the grasping whatever hand, and he comes with the your token Secret Wars shield, which is basically what they supposed to be a communicator more or less between heroes and whatever. Try to get this in frame. Only comes with just the one picture, unfortunately. I remember when I used to have the actual Mattel ones, they came with at least a couple more, I guess. So it actually had the secret identity to it, or whatever. Anyways, you change that out. Say you got a Captain America figure, the Daredevil figure, and it's supposed to, be like, oh, he's getting a message or whatever. So there you go. Could have used a couple more accessories, I guess. Maybe an alternate head. Oh yeah, let's take a look at his articulation, shall we? And let's just adjust the camera. There we go. This is the most professional show on YouTube. So let's just, rock and roll. And so his head goes back about that far, goes forward that far, all the way around, tilt and a tilt. So arms. That one goes a bit higher just because there's more Venom stuff going on over here, but it goes all the way around. Has that butterfly hinge. So you put the arms right back and put the arms kind of forwardish. Doesn't look like you can do it too much with the Venom arm. Probably can, but whatever. Thigh. That's not the thigh. That's bicep. rotation double joint at the elbow. This rotation back and forth has diaphragm rotation and back and forth. And bend back that far because he also has abdominal crunch. Rotation at diaphragm, not at the waist. Legs apart that far, and forward and back that far. Thigh rotation, double joint at the knee. Shin rotation, ankle rotation, and back and forth, and toe articulation. So he is a very articulate Spider-Man figure. And I always like the more articulation on a Spider-Man, the better. And to compare, I grabbed the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man and regular Symbiote Spider-Man. Sorry, my brain is wonky sometimes. Pretty close to some reused parts from Renew Your Vows. Obviously, different head sculpt, different arm sculpt, whatever. Or they could have added a couple of things. I don't know, but he's pretty close to, like I said, the Renew Your Spider-Man, but still just wanted to get comparison between the three costumes, I guess. Okay, so it's a cool design, but I question it just because, it's a mid-transformation type of thing. So, it's like a snapshot of a moment in time, okay? I'm not saying I don't like it, I just question, this is how far we've gone with the, trying to put out every single... I like Spider-Man figures, do not get me wrong, but, I want, like, a legitimate, like, costume, not, say, like, a quick moment in time for a transformation. Because, like, say, like, do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you are or not, but it's more, he's being taken by a symbiote. Okay, it'd be more like a statue type of thing, which I can get, but, like, if he's in a fight, is he really going to be in a position where, the symbiote just holding here and he's fighting the symbiote as he's saying, fighting the Hobgoblin or Doc Octopus or something, but, the symbiote is just holding this position right here. You can't, transform Pete or combine with him or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? I think I do. So I'm not convinced that this kind of design was needed, but you could have possibly had, like, say, a symbiote with just a Peter Parker head or something. I don't know, or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. Like I said, I do dig the design. Just question about whether it should be a figure or not. But I got it. I think I do think it's cool looking. Just so I am a sucker. So yeah. So basically, yes. I guess I don't know. Sorry about the ramble. Just sometimes you gotta put your thoughts out there. Anyways, that's a quick look at this Secret Wars figure. Thank you guys for watching. More figures on the way. If I can find the time and put a foot up my rear and then put myself to make these videos. I do love making these videos. Just I'm kind of lazy now and then, but anyways, thank you guys for watching these videos. I appreciate it. Even if I put them out every so often, you guys are still watching them. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will try to get my rear back in gear and start making some more. Anyways, my name is James Sharmack. This has been a Nerd Room with J&J, and as always, keep on collecting and happy hunting.